Good morning, everybody. How are you? I'm Meredith Herrenbrook, author of Becoming Ridiculously Awesome. So this is my first live broadcast. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about today is IPOs, which is intended positive outcomes. Why do we make the choices that we make? Well, we have all these little things that we check in our world of why we say yes versus no. I actually made some very cool charts here that I think you'll enjoy. I wanted to show you this here. We have yeses and nos, right? What makes us go one way or the other? You're on this teeter-totter, making life happen one decision at a time. We do millions of decisions every day. When do I get up? When do I put my foot on the floor? When am I going to wash my face? When am I going to eat breakfast? What am I going to have for breakfast? Et cetera, et cetera. And those are small things that are that we do almost second nature, right? But if you imagine, let's say eating breakfast, for instance, am I going to choose, cereal A or meal B? Some eggs and sausage and so forth. And we do all these little checkpoints for, is that good for me? Is that good for me in the long run? Is that good for me in the short term? It tastes really good. I get all these pleasure things firing off in my brain and my taste buds. But then you weigh, the pros and cons of it. So we have what's called intended positive outcomes. What good thing comes to me when I have it? Okay, so we have these yeses and nos, right? I'm sure you understand very simply, this is kind of what we're working with on a moment-to-moment basis. So what are all the things that make us go to all these yeses? Okay, so we have, if we end up not making a decision, we have a pile of no's over here, and of course the scale is going to tip over here. Okay, hope that's pretty simple and clean. Okay, so I thought of this other really good visual for you guys. When we're talking about intended positive outcomes, right, we're not talking necessarily about breakfast all the time. We're talking about wanting to maybe buy a car, maybe get a promotion, maybe ask a person out, but we're maybe shy. We're maybe having these conflicting emotions and feelings and thoughts about the situation. What might that mean? We're talking about bigger stuff right now. And so I wrote this handy dandy equation. Again, this is kind of another equation, this little balancing thing. If you have thoughts and feelings and actions, they equal your intended positive outcome. We're pleasure-seeking people. We always do things for kind of a payoff, whether, like if we have chocolate, well, that tastes really good. Then it floods our brain with endorphins and serotonin, all these wonderful things that make us feel good. And also, on a bigger scale, on those heftier decisions, we want to feel safe and loved, okay? Everything really comes down to, how does this body survive in the world? How do we feel loved and safe with our family, with our friends, in our society? Because if we are working well in that, then we'll probably be able to get along to the next day, right? We'll be fed, we'll be cared for, we'll have positive interactions with people. When those things start to go away because of our decisions, then we will probably choose not to make those decisions. So that's kind of what's happening. So anyway, back to this. We have thoughts, feelings, and actions, and also kind of circumstance, things that we can't really control quite so well. So if we can't really change the circumstances, not really. Sometimes we can, with maybe choosing different places to live, choosing a different job and so forth. But given, let's just say our current circumstance is this, can't really change it very much, then we have all these other things to consider, to work on and change within ourselves. That's what NLP works on, is changing our thoughts and our feelings and actions, and really looking at the inner workings, that inner structure that creates our experience. When we can start to manipulate those, and really learn where they come from, why they're there, and how they're structured, then we can kind of move into creating better choices for ourselves, okay? So if we can change and shift our thoughts, feelings, and actions, then we can shift or we can actually get our intended positive outcome. Often when we cannot get, let's say if we want a shiny red car that costs a certain high price point, even if it doesn't, let's just say it's red, okay? And then we're saying, yes, I have the money. Yes, I have this. Yes, I need a car, to get to work and make my life easier. But let's say someone in your family hates the color red, okay? Red in itself is an innocuous color. Yes, it's bright, it's happy. There are a lot of positive things that you could think about it. But what if someone, maybe a parent, that they hate the color red, or something horrible happened in a red car? There's an association with, oh, well, if I get a red car, then it might not be survivable. I'm gonna have to deal with a judgment. I'm gonna have to deal with all these kind of negative things coming to me. These are the no's that are creeping in. And then we're going, I love this. I want to get this, but I want to do this, but, okay? So when we don't end up getting what we say we want, we have to look at what are all those things that are happening. So what else do we want to talk about? I wonder if anyone is here to then even ask questions, because that would be amazing. That's kind of what I wanted to just share with you, is what makes our choices. And I guess I'll add on to that is, let me think for a second. A lot of times when we are analyzing what we're doing, what choices we're making, there are actually a lot of choices we've made in the past to survive something in the past, long ago and far away, that worked, okay? If you saw my webinar that just is kind of coming around the internet right now, and probably on my YouTube page and so forth, please read, sorry, tongue twister, please watch that, because that really talks more in depth about all these other things of what stops us from getting what we want. It's called the iceberg. The top thing is what we're noticing is not working in our lives, and all the other 7/8 that are beneath the surface that are really creating our experience, and kind of what all the no's are, okay? So what we need to do is look back in the past, and what did we survive? Because what happens is when we survive something, our brain says, yes, it worked, that's awesome. Thank you, Jacqueline, so much for the comments. I appreciate it. So what is happening is, what happened long ago and far away, and this is our amazing brain, but it kind of can trip us up sometimes, is when we survive something when we're little, we're like 3 or 4 years old, right? We are coming into the world. We are trying to grab our survival skills as they come up, right? We come up with each experience. We go, choice A, B, or C. Only know a few things, so I'm going to choose that way. I'm going to choose how to think, feel, and act in that circumstance, okay? Then what our body does is, because there's so much information coming in, we sometimes create a blanket solution. And we go, okay, if my choosing to eat peas is kind of tasty and I like it, and everyone is happy and going, yay, great job, then we feel good and we feel awesome and amazing. We go, I'm going to choose to eat peas, right? Anyway, so then you say, well, all peas are amazing. All peas are delicious, and so forth and so on. It's a very simple example. But if we forward that a little bit into saying, maybe there's a judgment a parent had, or you made a choice of picking up a stick when you're 3, maybe it's 2, and a parent says, that's horrible. It's you should never touch sticks, because of course the child might poke his eye out, okay? Very logical from an adult standpoint. But then a child might internalize and make judgments on his or her own to make that happen. And so then as that person grows up, they go, well, all sticks, well, of course all sticks are terrible and all sticks are horrible. I will not pick up sticks, okay? So those are really easy examples. But what if we talk about relationships, how we relate to each other? Maybe how our parents related to each other or how they related to us. We will make judgments and internal solutions to live the best we can. So what happens is when we are older, 18, 22, 30, 40, 50, we are coming up to new realizations or new experiences that we want to have. Then we will be coming up against all these older solutions, right? What fires together wires together, okay? When we are younger, we are making all those solutions, right? And we say, so when a new experience comes up, we go, yes, I know what to do. I'm going to keep making that choice. I'm going to make that choice. But also, I'm going to filter for that choice because I already know how to do it. And I want to feel good and safe and loved doing that. So I'm going to keep making those same sorts of choices. But then you kind of keep yourself inside that box. So when you move forward in time and you're wanting to have more positive relating to other people, I don't want to say relationships because I want us to be more proactive and cognizant and empowered. Relationship is kind of something outside of yourself, but I want to relate better to people. If I want to relate better to people or more successfully to people, words matter, then you can look back in time and start to figure out what choices did I make and what was survivable. And we're going to start adding new resources and kind of teasing apart the old structure and going, do I need to have it structured this way? This is what NLP does, and this is what I do for life coaching, for helping people through where they are stuck. What happens is when we're older, we make realizations because we find new needs. We go, well, I want a promotion. I want to get to this goal with my family, with myself, with others, wherever in the world. You end up having a need. You go, wow, I have new needs. My old system isn't really working. How we see it currently and often is the outside world sucks. I don't like it. People are mean. It's not working, okay? But what's happening is that you are trying to shift your paradigm and the old paradigm isn't working. So we start to see the outside world as the problem. What's really happening is that your inside world is just not in sync or aligned with the outside world. So when you start to shift on the inside, the outside world will shift. Your filters will change. You will start aligning more and getting rid of those older patterns with grace and ease and respect, because that's all those things actually got you to here and now. But anyway, so as you shift, your world will shift. The world will shift. You will maybe get less triggered and so forth and so on. But getting back into this, not to get stray too much, going back into this intended positive outcomes, your results will come from here. Sorry, I'm doing this reverse here. It's kind of confusing. Your results, okay, intended positive outcomes and results are a result of all this internal working going on here, okay? So as you start to analyze and delete all the no's here, you will get more yeses. And when you get more yeses and you get more alignment, things will become absolutely more awesome. I promise you. Okay, so I started off with certain traumas growing up, and I love my family. Everything was amazing in so many ways. Everyone has hangups. Everyone has certain experiences that got them to here and now, and they want to kind of shift some experiences about that. So with that, I have come to really learn that NLP and family soul constellations is really an amazing set of tools, as well as Huna, which is Hawaiian spiritual-based healing. Those are the tools I bring to the table. And so I would love for you to, I'm going to plug this here, buy my book, Becoming Ridiculously Awesome. Who doesn't want that? It's on Amazon. I will send you the link through this live feed right now. Go to my website. Please look at my videos. Please give comments, ask questions. I want to interact and see what's going on for all of you, because I can only help you specifically if you maybe come to me with a problem or a struggle or something to chat about. Because I can only talk really general right now, but let's get into it. I am going to be doing live feeds every Wednesday now that I have updated my Google Chrome and I can go live immediately. I will not delay. So Wednesday mornings, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for about 20-30 minutes or so. I want to empower you. I want to help you not have to struggle so much. I want things to be easier and more aligned. When you clear out the past and set forth with new solutions, more resources that you already have, when everything is going really well, as I'm sure that you've experienced before, when those days are amazing, the sun is shining, the world is singing, and just things are clicking. You can have that more often. And when you can have that more often, when you are aligned, okay? It's kind of the universe and you working always in tandem. So when you are more aligned and dynamic and less struggling and, going through the mud, and you are more on solid footing and solid ground, then you can go anywhere. You can achieve anything a little bit faster, a little bit easier, and you can struggle less. There'll be less depression. There'll be less sickness, right? I'll get more into that later. There's so much to talk about. I'm excited you're here. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm going to link everybody right now. Let's see. Let me get that Amazon link going. Becoming ridiculously awesome. I love hyperlinking. Thank you, world. All right, there is that. Thank you so much for watching. And Jacqueline, you are amazing. Thank you for your support and watching and listening. So buy my book, please. Call me, write me, whatever you need to do. If you have a question, I also have a 30-minute free consultation that you can sign up for on my website, livingyourawesome.com. You can call me on my cell phone. I'm just going to give that to you right now, 415-999-7675. What else? I think that's it. So have an awesome day. And whenever the world gets crazy, try and go still for a moment and take all the outside world away and just take a breath. Take a moment for yourself and go, okay, how am I right now? Okay. And be at peace with yourself. Maybe have some tea or coffee. Do something that makes you happy for a few minutes. Look at something that makes you feel really good. And then go again. Okay. So thank you. I will talk to you next week. Have a great week, guys. Bye.